The part Shakira Austin clearly didn't
is mad. Wishy-washy fan base. She calls them out. It seems we got us another bona fide Caitlin Clark hater, and on top of that, she seems to hate Caitlin Clark.
They say every season brings its villains, but in the WNBA, it feels like the villains keep writing their own downfall, and this time it's Shakira Austin stepping straight into the fire, thinking she was clever by calling Caitlin Clark wishy-washy, when in reality, she just lit the fuse on her own instant regret, because the second those words left her mouth, she didn't look tough, she looked reckless, and the internet wasted no time turning her into the punchline of the night in a league already drowning in PR. Nightmares, lawsuits, relocation drama, and nonstop fan wars. The very last thing anyone needed was another player taking a racially charged cheap shot at the one star who is single-handedly keeping the lights on. Caitlin Clark didn't even have to clap back, didn't have to post a single thing, because the backlash spoke louder than any comeback fans, analysts, and even casuals. All pounced on Austin, and suddenly the story wasn't Clark being wishy-washy, it was Austin being washed out. Her words echoing across the league as the perfect example of jealousy, ego, and career-ending dumb, all wrapped into one viral moment. Shakira Austin thought she was scoring points with some slick trash talk, but all she really did was hand Caitlin Clark another win without Clark even lifting a finger. Because let's be real, Austin isn't the face of the WNBA, she's not selling out arenas, she's not driving television ratings, and she's definitely not the reason casual fans are suddenly tuning in every night. That role belongs to Caitlin Clark, the second-year pro who has the league on her back like a backpack, carrying double-doubles, breaking records, and pulling in fans who never cared about women's hoops until she showed up. So when Austin tried to clown Clark, she wasn't just throwing shade at a player, she was poking the very reason this league hasn't already collapsed under its own mistakes. And the irony is brutal. The harder these players try to tear Clark down, the more obvious it becomes that they're only exposing their own insecurity and jealousy, while Clark keeps doing the one thing nobody else can do, keeping the entire WNBA relevant. And the worst part is, she didn't even land the insult with any wit or originality, because wishy-washy, really, that's the best you could come up with. You had a prime opportunity to roast the player who dragged a billion-dollar spotlight into your league, and all you delivered was playground-level weak energy, the kind of line that wouldn't even get a laugh in a middle school cafeteria fight. Except this time, the entire sports world was listening, and nobody was laughing with Austin, they were laughing at her within minutes. The clip was everywhere. Twitter, TikTok highlight shows, meme accounts all locked in, and the backlash hit like a tidal wave. Fans pounced, analysts mocked her, and even people who don't like Caitlin Clark said Austin was completely out of pocket in seconds. Her jab flipped into a full-blown meme factory, and she instantly became the poster child for jealous players who simply can't handle Clark's shine. And here's the part Shakira Austin clearly didn't think through, because when you take a swing at Caitlin Clark, you're not just messing with one player, you're waking up an army. Clark's fan base isn't just Indiana Fever diehards, it's Iowa loyalists, college basketball lifers, and millions of neutral fans who just love watching drama explode. And when they mobilize, they don't hold back. They flood timelines, they turn clips viral, they trend hashtags until the league itself can't ignore it. Suddenly, Austin wasn't just an average player on a roster, she was the face of everything. Critics say is wrong with the WNBA jealousy, pettiness, ego, all rolled into one. And the funniest part, Caitlin didn't even need to respond, because the scoreboard, her stats, and her highlight reels already did the talking for her. While Austin drowned in mentions and memes, Clark just kept winning in silence. Because the truth is, Caitlin Clark didn't have to clap back, didn't need a tweet or a press conference, because the receipts were already stacked sky high. She's only in her second year as a pro, and yet she's dropping double-doubles like clockwork, turning Indiana into must-watch basketball every single night, and dragging television ratings up with her. Every measurable stat screams consistency, her points, her assists, her impact on ticket sales and merchandise, all of it. Proves she's the rock of the league, not wishy-washy, not inconsistent, just undeniable. So when Austin tried to slap that weak label on her, all it did was backfire and shine an even brighter light on how shaky the rest of the league looks in comparison. If Clark is wishy-washy, then what do you even call the players who can't fill seats, can't sell jerseys, and can't move the needle in any meaningful way? The insult didn't stick because reality already exposed it as nonsense. And that's where the ugly part comes in, because Austin's jab wasn't just petty. It carried a racial undertone that made the whole thing 10 times worse. You don't take the league's most important star, the one player holding up television ratings and sponsorships, and throw race-coded shade without expecting it to blow up in your face. And that's exactly what happened in a league already accused of mistreating Clark for not fitting their preferred narrative. Austin's words were, "Gasoline on a fire." Fans who were already skeptical suddenly had a fresh receipt to wave around, and the media ran with it instantly. Headlines screamed, clips replayed on loop hot take shows turned it into the story of the day. And overnight, Austin wasn't just a player making a bad joke. She was the embodiment of every criticism people already had about the WNBA's toxic culture: jealous, insecure, and completely out of touch. And the fallout didn't just land on Austin, it hit her teammates too, because no matter what they personally think of Caitlin Clark, they all know her star power is directly tied to their paychecks. The brighter Clark shines, the bigger the television deals. The fatter the sponsorships, the higher the salaries. So when Austin decided to take that swing, she wasn't just being petty. She was being financially reckless, and nothing spreads faster in a locker room than resentment toward the teammate who cost everyone money. And it's wild because the league itself was already busy playing games behind the scenes, moving arenas, shifting schedules, trying to milk every ounce of Clark's drawing power, and then boom, one of their own players torpedoes the very engine, keeping the lights on. It's not just a bad look, it's the kind of mistake that makes fans shake their heads and say, this league just doesn't get it. Because here's the real kicker, Shakira Austin's jab didn't actually hurt Caitlin Clark. It helped her every insult, every jealous swipe, only builds Clark's legend bigger without lifting a finger. She gets to play the victim of another unprovoked attack, and that rallies her fan base even tighter while dragging neutral viewers into her corner. Angel Reese tried it last year and ended up boosting Clark's popularity. Now, Austin just repeated the same mistake, and the result is the same. Clark's Q score goes up, her media spotlight shines brighter, her brand grows stronger. Meanwhile, Austin's name trends for all the wrong reasons, and the league takes another black eye instead of focusing on growth, expansion, and momentum. The WNBA looks bitter, fractured, and insecure, and Clark once again walks away the winner simply by doing her job, lacing up and letting her game speak louder than anyone's words. And that's the bigger problem here, because this isn't just about one bad comment from one player. It's about the culture the WNBA has created. Instead of uniting behind the star, who's bringing them record ratings and record crowds too many, players treat her like an intruder. And when someone like Austin takes a racially charged cheap shot, it doesn't just make her look bad, it makes the entire league look small, jealous, and out of touch. The hypocrisy is impossible to miss the putt. The league cries for more respect, more sponsors, more viewers, yet they let their own players openly tear down the one person delivering all of that. And behind the curtain, the front office is busy blocking team sales, playing relocation games, and acting more like mob bosses than leaders. So while Clark earns respect every single night on the court, the league keeps throwing it away with toxic culture and shady business, and fans can see it clear as day. So in the end, Shakira Austin's wishy-washy moment wasn't just a bad look, it was a career-altering mistake, because while her words instantly aged like spoiled milk, Caitlin Clark's game kept aging like fine wine points, assists, ticket sales, merchandise numbers, all of it proving she's the undeniable engine of the league. Austin thought she was taking Clark down, but she only exposed the jealousy and pettiness that critics already accused the WNBA of feeding into, and now, her name will forever be tied to a meme instead of a highlight. While Clark just keeps stacking wins and cementing her legacy, the real tragedy is that it doesn't stop with one player. The league itself keeps tripping over the same issues. Shady relocation deals, blocked sales, lawsuits, senators stepping in instead of embracing the momentum Clark brings, they keep sabotaging it. So here's the truth. Clark doesn't need to clap back because the numbers already clap back for her. Every time she steps on the floor, while Austin and even the league itself are left holding the bag of instant regret.